the UFC before. I've seen it, because I've seen several of his fights and everything. But to me, I think that match was just badass. It was awesome. Everybody loved that match a whole lot more. I mean, everyone's still talking about it. Brock Lesnar, I'm not sure what happens, but in the end, Triple H hit him with the pedigree, right on the stairs. 1, 2, 3. Triple H wins. His career continues in the WWE, and Brock Lesnar is over, which now leads the question, what now? What's Brock Lesnar going to do next? Is he going to leave the WWE? Well, remember, he is under contract. Under a 2-year contract with WWE. So the possibility of him returning could be it. And the rumors are flying about Brock Lesnar versus The Rock at SummerSlam. That's the big rumor that everyone's talking about. So I'm hoping, personally to me, that's a match, I believe, it's 2002 when the match happened, and we're in 2013, so that's almost 11 years in the making. So that's going to be very, very interesting to watch if it happens. Speaking of The Rock, and speaking of John Cena, I'll tell you something. A lot of people didn't want to see this match. Everything, and I admit this too. I saw the match. It was good in every way possible, but it was very terrible. I mean, it wasn't like the first WrestleMania. It wasn't like the first meeting between the two when it happened at WrestleMania 28. It was good. It was great. But this one just didn't. It didn't have that big fight feel. Like nobody's really feeling it. But I think until John Cena hit the rock bottom on the Rock, I think that's when it started picking up. Cena was hitting every move that he did. And then he made the mistake again by trying to hit the people's elbow. And then after that, John Cena stopped him. Just like that. And then even though he got hit with the rock bottom, he kicked out. And in the end, The Rock gave John Cena his defeat. And now John Cena gives The Rock his defeat. We have a new WWE champion, and his name is John Cena. Redemption, all needed for John Cena, and it finally ended at WrestleMania. Now, that's all of WrestleMania. I may have missed one match. I may have to look into it later, but let me get into Monday Night Raw. Last night, my God, and if the New Jersey crowd, and if you guys are watching this, you guys over in New Jersey, holy crap. You guys are badass. I mean, I have never heard so many chants in my life. It's like Corpus needs to do something like this. We need to express our voices just like you guys expressed your voice over New Jersey. Hearing them chant boring. Hearing them chant bullshit. I mean, here they were even singing bullshit. That was like, holy crap, on national television. And it's a PG show. That's amazing. Then they're chanting Rob Van Dam. Then they're chanting ECW. Then they're chanting JBL. He was out there in attendance. He couldn't believe what he was hearing. That crowd was completely nuts. I mean, that to me was the best Raw ever. Because the crowd was into Raw. The crowd was so energetic. Look, even though the matches, some of them were good, some of them were right. I think the only thing that was good, and I'm about to get into in just a moment, is the whole thing with Dolph Ziggler. Let me get into that in just a minute. But the crowd, nonetheless, made the biggest difference on Monday Night Raw. So regardless of what anyone thinks about how, the matches weren't that great, everything, Raw wasn't it, every time WrestleMania, the day after WrestleMania comes along, something huge happens. The crowd gets into it. It's absolutely nuts. So speaking of getting into it, Jack Swagger faced off against Alberto Del... Whoa, that is what I forgot. Oh, and you know what? I think I'm going to put into this right now. Jack Swagger faced off against Alberto Del Rio for the World Heavyweight Championship at WrestleMania. That was also another good match in itself. And personally to me, I'm glad Alberto Del Rio won. But there was one thing that didn't happen at WrestleMania, which I was kind of pissed off at. Which leads me to the following night on Monday Night Raw. Jack Swagger and Zeb Colter took on Alberto Del Rio. Alberto Del Rio wins, and he has a little bit of a leg injury. He couldn't do anything about it. So, after that, he wins his match, everything was fine, doctors were looking at his leg, and then hits the music, and I'm like, why didn't this happen at WrestleMania? Who comes down the aisle with his money in the bank in hand? Dolph Ziggler. And I Personally, I was rooting for Dolph to get the title. He should have got this at WrestleMania. But he went out, he faced off against Alberto Del Rio, cashed in his money in the bank, and guys, we have a new World Heavyweight Champion, and in the form of Dolph Ziggler. Now, I'm going to bring this one little subject up. Do you remember when Dolph Ziggler had the championship, when he took it away from Edge and then lost it for, I think, 30 minutes or something? Remember that? Well, consider that doesn't count. That doesn't count for anything. As far as I'm concerned, Dolph Ziggler winning the world title against Alberto Del Rio at Monday Night Raw, that is what counts. So Dolph Ziggler, for hearing this, everyone across the world is glad that you are the World Heavyweight Champion. Personally, I am. You are the Mr. Perfect, badass Billy Gunn, ravishing Rick Rude of this era. That's my opinion. And also, the difference. I know Rick Rude has won a world title, but the difference between you, Mr. Perfect, and badass Billy Gunn is that you are the World Heavyweight Champion. You are on top of your game. You have been to the big time. No disrespect to badass Billy Gunn or Mr. Perfect. Two great athletes. Two tremendous athletes. But this was Dolph Ziggler's time. This was the time for the show off, and it finally happened. So congratulations go out to Dolph Ziggler for becoming the World Heavyweight Champion, and I do see a lot of big things happening for Dolph and the world title scene. I hope he holds on to that title for a very long time. How long? Who knows? We'll see how this goes. And as you guys know, tonight is the WWE Hall of Fame induction ceremony. It's going to start around 9 o'clock. I hope you guys get an opportunity to see that as well. So until then, guys, I'm going to end this edition with the main event talk by saying once again, congratulations go out to Dolph Ziggler for becoming World Heavyweight Champion. WrestleMania 29 was a huge hit. It wasn't exactly the biggest hit of them all, but it was good in many ways possible nonetheless. I also want to thank all of my friends and all of my family members that showed up to see WrestleMania 29 at my house. You guys rocked. We're hoping to do this again next year, and hopefully next year. My thought on this is quite simple. And I mentioned this, and I know some of you guys have heard me talk about this. WrestleMania 30. Theo's Billiards. Think about it. Richard, think about it. WrestleMania at Theo's Billiards. Epic. That's all you have to know. So until then, guys, if you want to follow the main event, all you got to do is go to facebook.com/maineventplayer. You can also find me on Twitter at twitter.com/@maineventplayer. Check out all of my badass Instagram pics, including everything that was shown at WrestleMania. I got a lot more I'm going to show off and, make it look interesting, okay? So it's going to be interesting. Don't forget to check out all of my videos on YouTube. Check them all out. It should be tremendous. And check out this latest edition of the episode of the Main Event Talk. So until then, guys, I'm going to go ahead and enjoy the rest of my vacation. And you guys have yourself a good time. And like I said, don't forget to check out the Hall of Fame induction ceremony, which takes place tonight. And also, to all my friends at TNA Wrestling, to all my friends here at Corpus Christi, April 11th, you know about the big world title scene. Jeff Hardy versus Bully Ray for the World Heavyweight Championship. Full Metal Mayhem. It's going to take place at the American Bank Center. And all I could say to my friends over in Corpus Christi, Texas, is quite simple. Guys, we need to blow up that place. We need to show our voices, express ourselves like never, ever before. Trust me. We need to show that Texas is the true home of true wrestling fans all across the world. That's my opinion. And we need to start it at Corpus Christi. Why? And you know the line, guys. I don't have to explain it. Because I can and I want to. Any questions? Enough said. Thank you very much, guys. I appreciate it.